Namaskaram to all viewers of Jyotirmark. Dear viewers, in the last episode, we discussed how the five Indras and Sridevi had taken birth as the five Pandava brothers and Draupadi, and also about the past karma of the five Indras and the Rishi Kanya and Lord Shiva's blessings, all of which joined together led to the marriage of Draupadi with the five Pandava brothers. Now let's continue. Kampilya, the capital city of the Panchalas, was once again decorated like Amravati of Swargalok for Draupadi's wedding with the Pandava princess. Citizens celebrated it in all possible ways with dance, music, and feasting. King Drupada gave away unlimited wealth like clothes, blankets, animal hides, healthy and milking cows with calves, gold, land, and food grains and feasts to all citizens of his kingdom, as well as to all those who had arrived from neighboring kingdoms also. On the day of the wedding, King Drupada with his son Drushtadhyumna accompanied his daughter Draupadi to the venue of marriage. Draupadi was decked with divine and celestial ornaments and dressed in the most exquisite garments. Her beauty and charm were beyond all dimensions, and the heavenly fragrance of her body spread all over that area and to a distance of 1 yojana also. The five Pandava brothers were dressed in majestic and royal garments, and they were decked with ornaments of gold, precious stones, and pearl. Led by their Purohit Rishi Dhaumya, who was radiant like fire, they entered the stage with such magnanimity that they appeared like Devas who had just descended from the skies. By then, Drupada's family members, ministers, and other guests had also arrived, and they were all welcomed and shown their seats. Thereafter, at an auspicious time, Rishi Dhaumya, who was well acquainted with all Vedic rites and rituals, ignited the sacred fire with libations of pure ghee along with the chantings of Ved mantras. Then Dhaumya, who was their Guru and Purohit, united the five Pandava brothers with Draupadi in wedlock day after day in succession. Meanwhile, the divine Kanya Draupadi, who was none other than goddess Sridevi, was blessed by Maheshwara to regain her virginity every day with the rising of the morning sun. The kind of wealth and the quantity of wealth received by the Pandava brothers from King Drupada was beyond all limits. Thereafter arrived the gifts from Lord Krishna for the five Pandava brothers and Draupadi. King Drupada and the Panchalas were dumbstruck by seeing the quality, quantity, and variety of gifts sent by Lord Krishna. For each of the Pandava brothers and Draupadi, the gifts from Kesava were several times more than what was given by Drupada to all of them together. After their marriage, the Paandavas lived in their palaces like those blessed ones who reached Swargalok by virtue of the auspiciousness of their karma. During those days, with the Paandavas staying close to his palace, King Drupada lived and ruled his kingdom in a state of absolute fearlessness and with total peace of mind and happiness. Queen Mother Kundi was respected by one and all, and the female members and youngsters of Drupada's palace approached her daily to touch her feet in reverence and to receive her blessings. Draupadi waited on Kundi all the time to attend to her and to take care of her requirements. Then one day, when Draupadi was dressed in red silk, which enhanced her beauty and charm, Kundi, who was very much pleased with her love, dedication, and respectful caring, showered blessings on her to live 100 years as the queen of Kurujangala and to give birth to long-living, brave, and great sons who will make the Kurus proud by virtue of their qualities and greatness. Finally, Kundi also blessed her that her husbands will conquer the whole earth and then perform the most auspicious of all yagas, which is the Ashwamedha Yaga. And in that yaga, Kundi blessed Draupadi to donate and give away, together with her husbands, all those lands which were conquered and acquired by them. Meanwhile, we had discussed the incidents that took place on the day of Draupadi Swayamvara, wherein Arjun had won the contest and thereby Draupadi's hand. Thereafter, the participating kings and monarchs who had got upset and jealous made an attempt to take back Draupadi by force and to teach Drupada a lesson for giving a chance to the Brahmins to participate in the competition. But Bhim and Arjun together defeated them all, and at the end of it, those kings and monarchs desperately wished to escape from there without any further casualties. Taking Draupadi back and teaching Drupada a lesson was all very soon forgotten, and without any waste of time, they were on their way back to their own respective kingdoms. By the time they were just starting their journey, spies arrived and informed that the Brahmin who had won Draupadi and thereafter had faced Karna in a face-to-face duel was none other than the Kuru prince Arjun, and that Vayuputra Bhimsena was the one who displayed exemplary skill and enormous strength by lifting and throwing the so far undefeated King Shalya of Madra, who was huge like an elephant in size and strength. And those three, who were also dressed like Snatak Brahmins and who had stood guard on both sides and the rear of Bhim and Arjun, were the other three Pandava princes, Yudhishthira, Nagul, and Sahadeva. On hearing this news, those kings and monarchs were surprised beyond all limits, because what they had heard and believed was that the blind king Dhritarashtra, along with his son Duryodhan and others, had got the Pandava brothers and their mother Kundi burnt to death in the great fire at their palace at Varanavata. For this, they had deployed their trusted minister Purochana, who was also killed in the fire. Rumors were also alive like Purochan's death was also planned by Duryodhan, so that no one will ever learn about his own involvement in that conspiracy. Now, all those kings and monarchs made derogatory remarks on Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan. They did not spare Bhishma and Drona also, saying that these two greats didn't move a finger to stop Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan from carrying out their evil schemes. Meanwhile, Duryodhan, Dusshaasan, Karna, and Shakuni were the ones who were maximum shocked and affected by this news about the Paandavas being alive. They were so depressed and dejected that they travelled in silence. Finally, Dusshaasan couldn't take it anymore and, addressing his elder brother, said like this with a shameful mindset: "O brother, our power and might is not of any use. God's will is final and supreme. Otherwise, how can the Paandavas be still alive?" Duryodhan did not give any reply to that. All their plans were now useless and unsuccessful. The brave Paandavas had escaped from the fire. Not only that, now they have established strong connections with the great king Drupada and the Panchalas. Drushtadhyumna and other great heroes and sons of Drupada and also Shikhandi were all now on their side. All these thoughts made them very miserable and fearful. Meanwhile, at Hastinapur palace, Vidura was very jubilant when he heard about the Paandavas being triumphant in the competition and Arjun winning Draupadi's hand in the Swayamvara. And the return of Duryodhan and his brothers to Hastinapur with their ego shattered to the core also made Vidura very happy. Approaching Dhritarashtra in that joyful mindset, Vidura said, "O king, by the grace of God, the Kurus are prospering." With his blind love for his son, Dhritarashtra immediately decided that Duryodhan had won Draupadi's hand in the Swayamvara. In a proud and triumphant tone, that king commanded Vidura that Duryodhan and Draupadi should be welcomed with great pomp and glory and accompanied to the palace with guard of honor by all four sections of army, like the soldiers on foot and horseback, soldiers mounted on elephants, and soldiers on chariots. Thereupon, Vidura corrected the king by saying that Draupadi had chosen the Paandavas and that the Paandavas are alive and well, and that King Drupada has received and accepted them with great love and respect. Vidura also said that the Paandavas are now connected and united with many other kings who are the friends and relatives of Drupada. Listening to Vidura, Dhritarashtra turned pale with shame and disappointment, and his initial shock then gave way to great fear on realizing that the Paandavas are alive and strongly placed now. Even then, hiding his shock and embarrassment, Dhritarashtra said that it makes him relieved and happy to hear that the brave sons of Pandu are alive and well. and that they have gained many friends and contacts. The Pandavas being with him, every king of Aryavarta would wish to have Drupada as an ally now. This is good for us also. How lucky we are, said the king, well hiding all his feelings of shock, fear, and disappointment in front of Vidura. Vidura said, O king, may this wisdom remain with you for 100 years. Thereafter, leaving that king who was immersed in total despair and desperation and darkness, that all-seeing and all-knowing wise Vidura walked away to his own quarters. Dear viewers, here ends this episode of our rendering of Rishi Vedavyasa's timeless epic Mahabharata. Harihi Om.